Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Cavalry Republic of Plumstead. This is episode 27. If this is your first time seeing this, there is a playlist in the description. If you would go to the first episode, you can see them all. Anyway, if you could please like this video and subscribe to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it, because it makes this video pop up to more people. In the last one, we started working on our expedition to find the Lost Vault. We'll get there eventually. And our ally Triarchy declared on Bloodgroves, so we're slowly taking them out. Are you in different colonial regions? I think you're all in Colonial Novaran. Yeah. Do you not have cores? There's not core in it. Smart. Just holding it. Interesting. Alright. We'll have an event in, like, 10 days. Also, the expedition was really expensive. Look how much debt I'm in. 55,000. Wow. Alright. Expedition. A cook and a happy crew. Who is this young man? Half-orc. Typhon stood here, inspecting the half-orc for any weapons, when Avery replied, "He's our cook." Typhon, the academic, dismissed the idea of needing a cook immediately, calling it frivolity which would only distract from getting to the vault. Avery replied, "Sir, we are going on a large journey through inhospitable terrain and across mountains as high as the firmament. You are going to need a cook who can make a good meal to keep the men happy. Besides, if anyone knows how to make a lot of food with limited resources, it's Biscuit." Biscuit? Typhon looked almost mortified when he heard the name of the half-orc. Avery replied, "He got this nickname from the soldiers who adopted him when he was just a little urchin. He was trying to steal their biscuits, but instead of punishing him for it, they just made them kitchen help in their fort, where he learned to cook and fight." That's really bad pronoun usage because you're switching between them. Where he learned to cook and fight. Biscuit smiled and reassured the professor that he was a good fit for the expedition. They only needed Typhon's approval. Cool. Vast and endless sea. Cool. Got some sailors. That is something I need to do. I need, so you guys go chill for now. I need to develop my coastline, and I need to build, wow, that's a lot more. I need to build dry docks on all of my coastal provinces. Okay, you can start. You can start. I'd love to see them being converted. Makes it... Are you the last one? A doctor and a digger. I've dug every kind of stone in every corner of the world. I once started in my home hold in Silverforge. Though I have since then called many holds my home. Proud of his accomplishment, Fimber showed his large collection of rocks. And look at this collection. A stone from each dwarven hold in existence, or at least most of them. His companion, Dr. Bitter, a medical doctor and expert in industrial and mining-related injuries, smiled. Forgive my dwarven friend for his enthusiasm on rocks. It may not be the most riveting of topics, but I can assure you that he can indeed dig through every obstacle on the way to the vault. The two men further introduced themselves to Avery, Typhon, and Milan, and explained why they wanted to join the expedition. We've, for a long time, traveled from mining town to mining town. Even though Fimber's expertise on mining and my knowledge on remedying mining-related accidents brought us a good income, we crave more adventure. Seeing your call for adventurers, we simply couldn't say no, and hope you agree. Very cool. Mining expert and a doctor will certainly come in handy. Alright, we're ready for success. A massive crowd gathered at the entrance to the fort. From here, an expedition would go deep into the mountains and find the supposedly largest vault of precursors in existence. It would be a rough expedition. Many were not expected to return, but those who did would return with riches and knowledge unfathomable. They would go into history as members of the greatest expedition Alantir had ever seen. Captain Avery, being a true leader, would sit at the front of his trusted steed. Behind him came a few wagons of trusted adventurers, followed by the wagons of Professor Typhon and research assistant student Milan. Their wagon was unlike those of the others, more or less a mobile research station with dozens of papers, books, maps, and other items of interest, all to help them get to the vault. They were followed by a large group of wagons filled with food, mining equipment, and the wagons of specialists like miners, engineers, map makers, doctors, and even a few cooks. At the end was a large procession of adventurers and explorers who had volunteered for the expedition and who would do most of the hard labor, like building makeshift bridges over creeks, pushing and pulling carts over steep slopes, and taking care of the horses. The expedition was ready to go, with only one question remaining. Did we pack enough food? And are we sure of our route? Alright, ready for adventure until the end of the game. Production efficiency minus 40. Manpower recovery is down, and rangers are pretty loyal, though. Okay. Is this being converted? Why are we not converting this? Religious zeal. That's fair. Alright, one last expedition. Everything is ready. Pots have been filled, barrels loaded upon the carts, equipment checked and stored. Our men have been trained for this. A last expedition, and one to hopefully remember for the ages. And we will find the fabled vault of the Proto-Sarda and its contents. So we're setting out. Don't fall behind, and if you do, have one of your wagons rush forward toward us. And whatever you do not traverse away from the caravan, else you will get lost and most likely die. Captain Avery, stern and clear in his words, stepped onto his wagon on the front and had his lieutenant tout the horn to signal their departure. And so a wagon caravan of about 100 wagons went on its way towards the slopes, towards the vault, armed not only with weapons, but with knowledge and enthusiasm. The caravan passed the final vestiges of civilization, beyond the Plumstead realm, beyond the Epednar lands. There would, from now on, be no more outposts, no more refill stations, only mountains and the unknown. This is where the adventure truly started, the last expedition. Here we go. Oregon Trail time. Yeah, I think they're going to die. So I need mages to have loyalty of 60, and I need to find the vault. So mages, yeah, look up there. Totally fine. Ruinborn, they're not happy anymore, but I need that money so bad. Foreign trade competition rises. Yeah, give me the mercantilism. Thank you. Great, losing boats now. Right. I do need to do that. Give me the last of those. The right direction. We should have gone right here, not there. You are so wrong, you know. We should have gone left. Then why didn't you do that then? Or are you afraid to admit you are wrong? Typhon and Avery kept arguing, while the rest of the party just stood there, frustrated that their supposed leaders did not really know what way they should go. In the meanwhile, Milon and Adalon, an Epednari explorer, tried to analyze the maps for clues on where they were and where they should go. But not long after, they found what had happened. Both Typhon and Avery had been dead wrong. They had completely underestimated some distances, which meant that both their turns had not even been passed yet. The two were quite ashamed, and Milon and Adalon revised the maps to make sure that they would not get lost or make miscalculations. Alright. Naval officers are retiring. This sucks. Nobility concerned with loss of privilege. Sucks. Proving of the plums. Please give me... Do you have a development one? Yeah, let's see what happens. Nothing? Cool. Ooh. Finally ready. Finally ready to keep these guys converting. Alright. We're going in the right direction now. Okay. We do need to develop all these provinces now, though. Let's see. You got a dock. You don't have a dock. You need to get developed. Let's get you that dock. You don't have a dock. Let's get you that dock when I have money. Drunk dwarves, dry days. Where's the rum? The chief cook of the expedition, a half-orc named Biscuit, furiously searched through the supply wagons to find the rum. He needed it for his recipe, yet could only find empty bottles. He packed enough to have a whole halfling festival, yet it's all gone. He suddenly heard a hiccup and a burp, a very distinctive drunk burp. Lumping into the wagons where the sound came from, he discovered 2 dwarves, around 20 bottles of rum. Curses, you drunk imbeciles! This was for everybody, not just the 2 of you, you fat, worthless pieces of mole rat! Furiously, Biscuit kicked out the 2 dwarves, who drunkenly tried to explain that they had just been testing if the rum was still good. Biscuit wanted to kick the 2 drunks down the nearby ravine, yet was stopped by Vincent and Dr. Bitter, who had a better idea. These 2 dwarves were, first of all, stripped of all their liquor rations, and secondly, they would have the cost of the rum deducted from their cut of whatever they found in the vault. On top of that, Biscuit had made them into his kitchen helpers and forced them to cut onions day in, day out. That's funny. Guess that's why they're crying. Well, maybe because they can't drink, though. Got that dock. Alright. You guys. I know you don't have one. You have one. You don't. Alright. Well, there's that. And now this way. Do you have one? Yes. Do you have... You're only 3 dev, though. I'm gonna get you bigger. Yeah, anyone that is below 10 dev on the coast needs to get dev'd up. 10, 10, 10, 11, 7. And you'll get it when I have money. Thank you. You're at 9. That's not bad. Ooh, that's a large boulder. New art. Cool. No, we should just push it downwards. If we do that, we'll risk a landslide, you fool. No, we won't. Yes, we will. The two arguing how to get the large rock off the path did not budge. Both very sure of their preferred method. Thimber, a dwarf with almost 100 years of mining experience, was convinced that the boulder would just roll down without taking the path along with the chief engineer. Without taking the path along, while the chief engineer feared that the soil was too loose and would move along with the boulder, creating a hole in the path. Tired of the two, Vincent lit his pipe, took a barrel of gunpowder, and walked to the boulder and planted the barrel next to the crack. Are you mad? Are you mad? The two arguing men said, yet before they could try to stop him, Vincent lit the fuse and calmly walked back to the carriages. Hold your horses, cover your ears. A large blast followed, and the big boulder split, creating a path for the wagons to traverse through. All the while, Fimber and the chief engineer just stood there, perhaps a bit ashamed, as Vincent's solution was brutish, though effective. Cool. I can get this, thank you. I need sailors. How about you? You have it? No. Well, you will be able to soon. Yeah, we got our guys working on it. Alright. Well, I suppose you need to get that too. See what you got up here. You need development. Okay, the hills have eyes. Alright, I'm gonna take a drink of water. Alright. Avery, I need to speak with you. Orion, a Sarda who had traversed these mountains many times, looked at Avery with a serious, stern expression. These lands we are now riding into are the home of the Chinufe. Chiunife. It is a group of shapeshifters who don't take kindly to outsiders. Oh, they're shapeshifters. Oh, that's pretty cool. Be they human or ruin-born. They are some kind of strange cult who have resided in these mountains for ages. They prey on people who wander into the mountains, and according to the stories, they reside in the mountains themselves, especially near the rivers. To the Epednar, they are nothing but scary ghost stories, meant to make children obedient, but I've encountered them, and not only are they real, they are nasty folk as well. Avery, contemplating for a bit, decided that they would count the men in the evening, and that they would instill a special code. One would say plum, and the other would say tree. That night, the men were tense, fearing that their own friend could be a shapeshifter. Some closed off their wagon, others installed empty cans and pots that would make noise if one were to enter. Orion just watched from the waters, as if he knew what was about to happen. Then some men shouted, "Man in the water!" They had seen a man on some piece of wreckage, and tried to help him get to shore. Knowing it was a trap, Orion shouted that they left the man alone, yet it was too late. With one fell swoop, the shapeshifter cut the throats of both men and jumped ashore. Orion immediately sounded the alarms, as did Avery and Vincent. Yet before they could do that, multiple men got killed as shapeshifters jumped from the shadows and from the wagons. A battle ensued. Most shapeshifters were, however, dispatched quickly, and those who did remain eventually fled back into the darkness of the night. And even though all this had taken only a couple of minutes, the damage was noticeable. Around 30 men were killed, and later they would find the bodies of more men in the bushes and behind boulders surrounding the path. They had most likely been kidnapped and killed the night before, their bodies replaced by shapeshifters who had secretly traveled with the group for a whole day, perhaps more. The group had in total lost around 50 men. The biggest damage was to morale, as many feared the return of the shapeshifters. Orion could not say if they were returned, suggesting that the password was changed each day just to be sure. New password, shapeshifter. So the Chinufe were the native people that we replaced over here. I might be... Yeah, here we go. Chinufe. I did not know they were shapeshifters. That's cool lore. I didn't know they were shapeshifters because, well, I'm pretty sure this entire region Unit Moim was only added in the latest update. So, to new lore, you need to get this. Now you guys need to have the development edict on also. 7. Okay. You're at 10. You're fine. Let's get rid of... Nah, just develop it. Wrong button. You can just have expanded administration, that's fine. You... That's expensive. Alright. Yeah, I think next we need to start... I'm just gonna grab a couple more loans. You get to upgrade. You're 46. Anyone cheaper? Anyone younger, rather? 38, 34. I'll take you. Oh, I need another loan. That's fine. Loan Shimon. Very cool. I'll make that a bit better. And then with the rest of that money, we're gonna grab those dry docks. Now over here. Alright. Expedition, Crate Crater. Whether it happened due to some adventurers not paying attention or because they hit a large rock, it does not matter. As we were passing a large crater, one cart suddenly seemingly slipped and tumbled down into the crater. The men on board the cart were dead on the spot, as were the horses. The goods on the cart consisted mostly of salted fish and some crates with jars of pickled foods. Luckily, it was only one cart, as losing more of them could put the expedition in serious danger of running out. Good thing we packed enough, right? I did pack enough. I spent a lot of money on this expedition. I mean a lot of money. Someone culture converted. Who did? Good. You may culture convert now. Yeah, we need to focus dip. Because this province needs to get bigger. You need to culture convert too. 10 points. Next month. Sweet and salty. Why does it smell like that? Biscuit was confused as the smell of something extremely sweet filled the air in the wagon. He was confused as the salt in the barrel was supposed to keep the meat dry, not sweeten it. Milan, who was passing the wagon, came to see what was going on. He inspected the barrel and decided to taste it. This isn't salt, it's sugar. Biscuit was confused, yet in a strange sense also amused. For some reason, some fool had salted the meat with sugar. It seemed to be that this was the only barrel which had been filled with sugar, and so the two laughed it off. Biscuit was even able to make something out of the sweetened meat, even when its taste was a bit unusual. Cool. Sweet jerky. Alright. How are y'all looking? When can I culture convert you? I can do that now. Good. It'll be a couple months. But we will do that. Go left near the big boulder. Whether it is because Avery had not been paying attention or because Typhon was not the best when it comes to giving directions in clear and concise manner, the party took the wrong turn. This led them to walk into a large canyon filled with strange, oversized eggs. These eggs seemed to be of the large scorpion-like creatures that roam the mountains. They couldn't turn the wagons without disturbing the local fauna, so pressed on through the canyon. They were lucky, and at the end of the canyon, they saw that the canyon had the shape of a semicircle, and that if they followed the slope, they would return to the path they originally had to take, albeit with a few days' delay. That's too bad. Okay, let's culture convert you. And then we'll get to culture convert you soon, too. 45. That's not bad. Moonborn, we gotta be nice to them. Election. Please give me someone with good dip. Oh, 6 dip. Nice. So 5, 6, 2. Very good. Expedition, boom. Run! They could barely get away when the cart exploded. For some reason, a fuse on the gunpowder cart had suddenly gone alight, and its men barely made it out alive. Fearing sabotage, the party halted to investigate. They searched the wreckage and found the supposed perpetrator. A small crate with glasses. These had probably reflected sunlight, or refracted. Got the wrong word, guys. Sunlight upon an exposed fuse, causing it to slowly heat and then go ablaze. A freak accident. though a good lesson for the party who continue to inspect the other wagons to prevent such an accident from occurring once more. Who even put them there? Vertical distress heathens, that's fine. Oh, wow! They really gave that all to me. I'll take it, thank you. Do I might able to do these? Stop converting. Stop converting. Stop converting. We're doing this first. Okay, I'll certainly take that. Wow. Well, the blood globes belongs to me now. Anything fun here? No. There's some gold over here. Not a big deal. I will take that. What you got for me? You want those? That's fine. It looks like you want access. Who is that? Valor Point? Shut up. Runeborns, be nice. Okay, they're happy again. Clippers and stingers. Scorpion! The scout shouted while running back down the slope to warn the rest. Behind him, a group of a dozen massive scorpion-like creatures as big as wyverns, oh goodness, rushed down to get him and the rest of the caravan. Immediately, the men started to shoot at the beasts, but to no avail. Their bodies were somehow impenetrable to gunfire, and panic ensued. Orion, knowing these crawlers, immediately ran to his wagon along with Millen, where he opened a crate with 2 personally modified guns. These weapons shoot a bullet containing a special acid to burn their protective skin. Don't waste the bullets, aim for their heads. In the meanwhile, the creatures caused havoc among the men. Bodies were thrown through the air or were pierced by the large stingers, and some had their arms or legs severed clean. Oh my goodness, severed clean by the large claws. On Orion's order, they had the beasts walk towards him and Millen, who then proceeded to shoot them down one by one. In the end, they got them all, though not without losing around 20 to 30 men. On a positive note, these beasts are edible and taste like chicken. Just don't eat the stinger. Finding some delicious, good blasted food. Alright. And Valor Point's gonna die. It's time to just take you out. No, not yet. Q, get off the island. We're bringing you down to here. Do not touch. Alien Terra is a land filled with a large variation of flora, and these mountains are no different. When they got into the canyon, they could immediately smell them. Large mushrooms, puffing out spores whenever something touched them. Not knowing whether they were intoxicating or hallucinogenic, the party leadership ordered the men to not touch them, and to bind a handkerchief in front of their face to keep the spores out. They slowly passed the mushrooms, yet for some reason, somebody had to touch them anyway. A ruckus was heard, and Avery ran to the back of the wagon train, where he found a group of men lying on the ground, laughing uncontrollably. Amongst them was a naturalist, who had been unable to curb his curiosity, and had tried to sample a bit of the mushrooms, releasing its spores. The men were taken to one of the infirmary wagons, and one after the other, they recovered. They explained that for some reason, everything they saw or heard became extremely funny to them, which explains their uncontrollable laughter. For the naturalist, there was not a lot to laugh about. He had suffocated due to his laughter, having taken in a humongous dose of the spores. Laughed himself to death. Silly dude. You may culture convert. Okay. These guys should not be ready yet. Okay. But you are getting close. Yeah, 2.5. That's not bad. 5 more years on them. Really, that's in the Dostinorian. Interesting. And I guess we get the last one of these. I'll take it, sure. Okay, let's see what we got here. 2 points. I need that click. A broken sky. A thunderous sound was heard, when suddenly the skies broke and a massive amount of rain came crashing down on the party. While most men were delighted, Avery and Vincent immediately warned the men to stay on their wagons and secure them, as a sudden rains like these could cause landslides. And as expected, it happened. A massive chunk of the slope they were traversing suddenly cracked and began to move. The men on the wagons were not quick enough to move the carts off the piece of land they were dragged down along. In the end, a few men and horses were still alive. A few of the men and horses were still alive, though severely wounded. The carts were, however, broken, and though they were able to recover some stuff, most were buried under the mud, along with some 20 men and a dozen horses. Alright. Sending stones. Ooh, these are basically telephones. Very nice. Let's see. How much do those cost? Sending stones, and what do they do? Diplomats, diplo relations. Ooh, war golems. Yeah, we're definitely taking war golems. I think war golems cost 20. Yeah, war golems cost 20. That's basically all of it. Alright, you... You need to grab this. Where are ya? Just really want that number to go up. 350 is not enough. We need those sailors. We really need those sailors. You may grab sailors. You may grab sailors. Alright, let's see. I think it's under states. Where's states? States, edicts. Turn those off. Edict. There we go. That's the easy way to do it. Very cool. Expedition, taking a gamble. You stole my dice, you wretched piece of filth. Don't you dare accuse me of cheating, you bastard. The two adventurers rolled over the ground, trying to best one another, while their comrades stood around them, cheering at this form of entertainment. Yet before one could really hurt the other, Vincent and Biscuit stepped in. While Vincent demanded everybody go back to their task, Biscuit, being a large half-orc, held the two fighting halflings under his arms. Oh, they were halflings. Oh, that's funny. They were still trying to hit one another until Biscuit gave them a stern grunt, warning them that he could do more than harm the both combined. Having calmed a bit, they both explained why they thought they were right, and why the other was a lying cheater. They had been traveling for days without taking a longer time to rest, and the men were really feeling it. Talking to Avery, they decided that stopping for a whole day was the best course of action. Not only that, Vincent also came up with rules for gambling. Rule 1 was that all gambling activities were to be registered with names, type of game, and investment. Rule 2 indicated the ban on taking loans or using future riches as investment. Rule 3 was that each game needed a neutral arbiter to make sure that nobody cheated. While a bit extreme perhaps, Vincent knew that these rules could at least keep up the veneer of civility between the men and hold everybody who gambled accountable. Writing down these rules, they would later be discovered by a military student of the University of the Dame who had introduced them into Plumstead army. Cool. Are we allowed to bet on the fighting halflings? That's funny. Let's see. This province is Wuhakosh. It's over here. This province gets free development from Lubahir. From where? From this province. We're taking them from this province. Okay. I'll take that. Yeah, sure. Makes it easier to culture convert later. I'll take it, sure. We're gonna let these guys stay happy. I'm liking where we're going right now. Who's this? I don't know why we have you. Go away. Yes, give me the points. Thank you. Okay, when do I get to switch this? This is in 66. Okay, that's fine. And do I don't think I'm going to be able to have that, do I? No, it's a tier 3. It's for monarchies only. Darn. Yeah, tier 3 is really good government reform for monarchies. But we're not a monarchy, so we don't have it. Looks like the gnomes are going to take that over. Military escort. No, I'm not using points on that. Oh, we found it! Well, damn! The party stood before Lake Taspasu, which is going to be you, I believe. Yes, Lake Taspasu, where the vault was supposed to be. Captain Avery stood before the shore and threw a rock into the water out of frustration. Where is that damn vault? It should be right here. All we found was this lousy lake. Feeling defeated, the party set up their camp and was going back empty-handed was a no-go. While scouting the area, a few men stumbled upon a strange monolith protruding from the lake. It was irregularly rectangular and seemed to be decorated with gilded carvings. Typhon and Millen decided to inspect the strange monolith and made a baffling discovery. The vault, which they had been looking for, was indeed there, though there was a small problem. The entrance was underwater. Mixed feelings gripped the party leadership as they had indeed found the vault, though it seemed to be inaccessible. They immediately sent a message to Paihubi with a question: how to get into the vault? This province right here? I'm gonna develop this a bit, because I think we have events left. I'm gonna give you a mage tower. Oh, no I can't. So I need to develop you more. Hit that button. Now I can give you a mage tower. And the last mission, into the vault. Finally, we found the damn vault. It took us quite some time in a journey across the plains, over mountains, and through rivers, and even a lake, only to find out that the entrance of this damn vault has been flooded. We have already started to ask the mages and artificers what can be done, and they have given us two proposals. The first is to use magic spells that allow us to dive into the vault, though this will be a tough job, as the spells work for only a limited time. Besides which, we are not a nation with a lot of diving experience. The second option is to drain the lake itself, revealing the entrance and making it a lot easier to enter and explore the vault, which, while easier on our expeditionaries, will cost significantly more, and the preparations and draining itself take a lot of time too. Alright, the mages and engineers have presented us with two options for getting into the vault. We're either using water-breathing potions to allow us to get in quickly without upsetting the local terrain, or we could drain it, which will take around 4 to 6 years, depending on how quickly we build the machines. 20 artifice capacity. I think we should try the diving first. I'm gonna try diving. If the diving doesn't work, we'll drain it. So we've got a couple more events to do. Are these guys scored yet? These guys are starting now. That's all we need from them. Let's grab this. Most of them are still very happy with me. Love that. We're still number 3 great power. This is not enough, huh? How big did Northern League end up getting? Yeah, they crazy. They're crazy. Diving into darkness. The divers were ready, potions in hand together with specially designed lanterns which kept burning underwater. Plunging themselves into darkness, they quickly found the entrance and with the help of the archolinguists were able to decipher how to get in. The vault was, as expected, fully submerged and filled with water as well. Swimming through the vault, they discovered that it was a massive complex with hundreds, possibly even thousands of rooms, corridors, and halls. To make sense of the place and to prevent getting lost, they plastered a special glowing paste to the wall, forming arrows and symbols to help future divers make sense of this labyrinthine complex. There is much to be found, much to be studied, but with enough determination and potions, we will discover the secrets of the vault. There is one very strange thing we discovered already. A carcass of some kind of massive fish. Probably ancient, as we doubt that anything's still alive down here. So no worries. Look at that flavor text there. Oh boy. That'll be fun. That's a big guppy. Nope. The diver swam towards the door as he was chased by what can only be described as an oversized carp with extremely sharp teeth. Not quick enough, the diver got devoured by the fish like a pie is by a halfling. Good analogy. The others quickly hid, as they had no weapons to speak of. Thinking on their feet, they made makeshift spears to at least keep the thing out of reach, though this would only work temporarily. Cornered in a large and seemingly deep hallway, they decided to try to fight the beast, escaping seemed impossible. They stabbed the beast multiple times, though it just went on attacking and just swallowed the spear's whole. Kicking and distracting the beast seemed to work only temporarily, and the divers feared that their fate was sealed, becoming fish food for some geriatric overweight pond skimmer. But then they heard a roar, which had the carp stopped in its path and silent. And before confusion could even set in, did a massive creature appear from the darkness, devoured the carp whole, before disappearing into the darkness once more. Taking the opportunity, the divers immediately left the hall and closed the sliding door leading into it. On it, they plastered "Big Fish, Don't Enter." They then left for the surface to tell their story, to warn the others to take weapons with them. We haven't encountered another carp as of yet, luckily, but in case we do, try to lure it into that hall again. There's always a bigger fish, alright? Riches, riches, riches. We have, for the last few days, been diving and have slowly pieced together a map, showing multiple locations that contain riches, old equipment, and other precursor relics. We will slowly but surely bring them to the surface, though not everything can be taken from the vault, as some artifacts are simply too big or heavy. The vault will, however, provide us with a nice source of precursor relics, which we will gather in Byhubi, Plumstead City, and St. Elvir for further investigation, sale, or donation. Oh, oh, nice. So we got more precursor relics in these 3 cities. Oh, that's so nice. We're gonna give it a little bit longer, but that's a pretty good reward considering artificer capacity. What is my artificer capacity at now? It hasn't updated yet. It'll update eventually. I think it updates annually, something like that. Because I got more precursor stuff. Let's update it with mechanism. Are you updated yet? No. It might be annual then. Profiteering and Isabellan, you can be nice. Okay. Now, let's see. You have 10 dev, you have 10, and you have 10. Good. Make sure you're all big enough. You. Let's develop you a bit. Very good. You should still have that. You do not. Very nice. That's a lot of precursor relics. We're slowly converting them from Elven forebearers to Rebellion, as they should be. You may work on getting rid of any of them that decide to come in too close. That's your job. You want sailors? No, they're mine. I need those. You get to have sailors. Yeah, it's going to cost a lot, but I need to. There we go. Now, these should all be 10 dev at least. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, cool. Those guys are done. Now, you all... Are you cool to converting all of them? Good. 17, 14, 10. Do any of you have dry docks? No. We're also working on stuff, so that's fine for now. I suppose we'll see what happens. We're going to give it a little longer to see if we have any more events coming up. Oh, look at that. Someone to kill. Could go further on this, but I think we're probably going to end the episode here. Border friction. Valor point. Suck it. I'm going to have you also help. Very nice. We shall see what happens. You may be embargoed. And we got the last couple guys. So we got the Roarsfielder Volley or Red Sentries. You can read Red Sentries, but we are Roarsfielder Volley. Plumstead had a unique geographical advantage over its rivals in the Genic region, with its control of passages through the Cliffs of Ruin, which allowed them first access to the flow of trade and information. This led General Aaron S. Roarsfield to propose a rapid modernization of their army to eclipse their neighboring rivals and overpower them before they could even the playing field. Rifled muskets, dragoncoat armor, and light artillery were swiftly integrated into Plumsteader light companies, providing them unprecedented firepower, durability, which proved decisive when the Republic would invade Begistan and seize Selochana from Sarda during the Red Year Crisis. Very cool. And if you want to read the last ones, it's going to be this one, Big Irons, and Jahanic Infantry, which we're not going to do. We're going to do Big Irons eventually. Were there any more horses to do? Oh, we got to do this. These are for now. In the Epednarin Pass prairies, there are a few things which outspeed the galloping horse roaming through the grasslands. But few was too many for the ambitious Yinsmen, for they desired more from their mounts. Horses were selectively bred for speed and power, using modern magical wonders to push these mounts to their fullest potential. These horses would greatly serve Yinsmen Rangers, who took advantage of their greater speed to swiftly infiltrate and wreak havoc upon the enemy lines using modern artifice-powered firearms. The whistling of wind guns and crackling of magi revolvers and the screaming of routing soldiers filled the air, when Rangers could now move as fast as the wind and strike viciously, like a hurricane. Very cool. Alright, that's the end of the year. Has this updated? No. Give it a little bit. And then I think we're going to end it after that. This guy didn't get anything. Instead, the relics got exported over here. Now, this has something really nice. It has Epednar City, which gives it dev cost, trade power, and recruitment time. And it also has plum orchards because it could produce. So this is a lot of points. Moon Elf people. We have Moon Elves. That'd be fine. Alright, has this updated? We're over here. It did not update. That's fine. We're going to end this whole series here. We finished the mission tree, and we took over most of North Island here. It was a chill game, starting as adventurers. And last thing to do before we head out is I'm going to show you the timeline. Is it starting from the beginning? It is. So we're starting as Plumwall, right over here. We're going to fast forward up until the point where... Really? Red color. We are fast forwarding to the point where we get over here. There they are. Oop, I pressed the pause button. My bad. Let's get back over to here. It's going to be around 1520, I think. And there we are. And now we get to watch this as a small little... Oh, wow. We were expanding fast. Forgot about that. Yep. And they're slowly colonizing over this way. Everyone's... And these are back where we're doing fun stuff. Yeah, the Ruinborn caused some trouble, but we eventually took them over. Probably should have... Yeah, knowing what we know now, definitely shouldn't have given these guys... Make these guys a march, but, you know, you live and learn. Argusvale, on the other hand, well, they were actually a very nice march. Good dwarves. Good dwarven military. I think we're going to annex these guys soon, at the end 40 years, and then we get these guys next. And then we're going to slowly move our way up north. Yeah, already moving up north. Taking them out. We're going to have rapid expansion right after 1700, I think. Well, it's already pretty rapid. Plumstead Republic. Going into Eardand a little bit. And then slowly expanding and expanding. And finish those off. Yep, just a last couple episodes right there. And Argazenic Broken Lands. Cool. So, that was our series. I hope you enjoyed. The next one has already been decided. We will be playing as the Hog Riders of Eltabar. They're Eltaban down here. We're going to be Eltabar because they got a cool mission tree. But I'm pretty sure that the next update has been out. So we're going to be waiting for a bit before that gets stabilized on the Steam Link. And then we're going to start that series. So I hope you enjoyed and I hope to see you next time in the next series.